we have a backup. Our primary veterinarian is in full support of us as a sanctuary. Pima County, or PACC, decided to get a judge and sign off on a search warrant. Really smart. You said, because now there's going to be a law case on it.
Hey, Joe. Joe, start EMS.
Oh, EMS?
Yeah.
EMS.
Yeah.
EMS.
Diabetic issue.
They're not. I'm not letting them touch me.
Well, I'm not letting you have medication unless they tell me you need it.
There you go. Can you repeat that for the camera, please? You're not letting me have my prescribed medication unless...
If a medical professional tells me you need your medication, then I will permit that.
And whose dime is that on?
I'm requesting them.
So they're on your dime? Taxpayer dime?
Them. I don't know how they charge, but I'm requesting them.
Well, I'm going to refuse any charges, and I'm going to refuse to speak to them.
Well, then you're not going to get your medication.
That's fine.
That's your choice.
Okay.
If you continue to record me...
Yes, go ahead.
Then I'm going to take your phone away from you and put you in handcuffs.
You see that? There is no Fourth Amendment right to record someone anymore.
You've been recording us for an hour.
I have the right to record you on my property. If you take my phone away, you have the right to do whatever you think you want to do. I thought I had a Fourth Amendment right. Do I have a right to record?
Put your phone down.
I don't have a right to record in America?
Yeah, cuffs.
Not when I'm detained. Okay.
Turn around, please. Facebook Live.
At first, they hit Jonathan with 230 misdemeanor charges, all for supposedly failing to provide medical care and proper ventilation. 230. Never mind that their own veterinarian vouched for them. Never mind that this ventilation emergency happened in December in Arizona. You know, when a cracked window probably would have solved the whole crisis. But instead of a call or a citation, they got a raid. And now, those 230 misdemeanors have been dropped, replaced with felony charges against both John and Sharon. Sound familiar? And the pressure's on. They're being pushed to sign a plea deal under threat of having hundreds more charges thrown back at them if they don't. Sound familiar? If you're watching this video when it dropped, I'm in court right now fighting for the right to film their felony hearing. Sound familiar? Before a judge who used to work at the Pima County Attorney's Office in the exact role Rachel Stiles holds today. Sound familiar? So yeah, draw your own conclusions.
I think it's time for this country to
Welcome to County Office, your ultimate guide to local government services and public records. Let's get started.
What is the redistricting process? Den-en redistricting is the process of redrawing electoral district boundaries. It occurs every 10 years following the U.S. Census. The goal is to ensure equal population distribution across districts. States are responsible for redistricting their congressional and legislative districts. The process can vary significantly from state to state. Some states use independent commissions to draw the line. Others allow state legislatures to control the process. Public input is often sought through hearings and consultations. Redistricting aims to reflect population shifts and demographic changes. It helps maintain fair and effective representation in government. The process can be contentious and politically charged. Gerrymandering is a common issue where boundaries are manipulated for political gain. Courts can intervene if the redistricting process is challenged. The Voting Rights Act of 1965 plays a crucial role in protecting minority representation. Redistricting impacts local, state, and federal elections. It ensures that each vote carries equal weight. The process can affect political power and resource allocation. Redistricting can lead to significant changes in political landscapes. It is a fundamental aspect of maintaining a representative democracy. Understanding redistricting helps citizens engage in the democratic process.
It just creates all kinds of problems and chaos and fear in the room is what I'm saying. I think you could remove that and still have a functional meeting. People need to be free to express themselves. It's not your fault, it's not my fault that the English language is degraded to the point that people use the words they use, but this is the way people communicate and express themselves, and I just wish you'd let people do that.
Tarrant County is the reddest county in the nation. There was never any redistricting process. For a bunch of Christians, y'all really love lying. Y'all don't even know what map y'all want. I'll go with the most conservative map. Clueless. Y'all do realize the most conservative map is the current one, since it will save the county millions of dollars. It's not conservative, but repressive. Do y'all think just because you vote Republican, the lawsuit won't affect you? Tiny Tim has been run out of town before for costing them millions of dollars. It's looking like we'll have to do the same thing again. Oh, and happy Pride Month, especially to Matt Cross, Bo French, and Carlos Turcios. It's okay to come out the closet, guys. Also, Timothy, do your kids still ask you why they hate you in Farmers Branch so much?
Shirley White. Is Shirley White present?
I'm Reverend Ryan Price, and I'm here to state my strong opposition to this redistricting. Despite whatever purported motivations and intents have been expressed to publicly justify this process, the end result of each and every one of these maps is a cracking and packing of minority districts and a mockery of our democracy. This is unfair, unethical, illegal, and it's mighty ugly. In 1812, Massachusetts Governor Elbridge Gerry so manipulated a voting district that it took on the shape of a salamander. Folks called it a gerrymander. The same thing is being done here today, only this time it doesn't look like a salamander. It looks like a snake.
Hello, Judge. I'm here to support the most conservative map for redistricting. Tarrant County is the reddest county in the nation, and Republicans deserve to have equal representation in our county commissioner districts. We hold 100% of the countywide offices, and we hold over 86% of all other offices in Tarrant County. The redistricting based on partisan lines has been affirmed and approved at the Supreme Court level. There is nothing illegal about it. The decries of racism is demoralizing and offensive to our democratic processes. We need to stop using those terms. People of all races love each other. People of all races are on both sides of the partisan aisle. I am here to support the most conservative map, which from my estimation is either map 1, 6, or 7. Please vote for the most conservative map. Thank you.
Thank you. Do we have Bishop Kirkland?
How do you ignore 80% of the mayors of Tarrant County? How do you do that? This, though it's about gerrymandering, that's not the issue. It is about fracking and packing, but that's not the issue. The real issue is a Malcolm X move. The Malcolm X move says, by any means necessary. Your whole objective is to get rid of her. You don't care how much money it costs. You don't care what we have to go through. Not to mention all the lawsuits that are soon to follow, because this won't be, you win today, but this won't be the end. This is only beginning. We're gonna fight right here. This is not going to just to be something that we let pass by. If I hear one more lily white person get up here and talk about racism, and you ain't been black a day in your life, I'm gonna throw up.
I'm a Tarrant County resident of 31 years. I'm also a TCU grad with a minor in political science, so I know a power grab when I see one. Besides, one commissioner already told us as much. Y'all should get your story straight. Because if this is truly about representing the people of Tarrant County, then why did 4 city councils and 10 mayors representing more than 80% of the county population sign on to a letter opposing this? I'll tell you why. Because they see this for the anti-democratic, with a small d, move that it is. You're attempting to disenfranchise black and brown communities, and I tell you that you should be ashamed, but I'm afraid you no longer feel any shame. We know this is the last desperate play of a group of people who know their time is running out. You have moved so far to the extreme right that your constituency doesn't recognize you. So instead of voters picking their leaders, you're attempting to pick your voters and wasting taxpayer money in the process. You're cowards to pull this now. You're cowards for not showing up to the public forums and defend what you're doing, and all the excuses in the world won't change that. And to the ones opposed to this, I say peace be to you if you're willing to fight for it.
I'm Chaplain Rich Stoglin. I reside in Precinct 2. My support is for the Republican-controlled map, thus ensuring a guarantee of 3 Republican county conservative commissioners. The reason is as follows. We must bring the heights of competence from the depth of incompetence, the bad breath of frequent and incredulous disrespect during public hearings, compounded with the coffin of decorum being constantly replaced with the darkness of vulgarity and screams of empty rhetoric lacking facts, resulting in no lasting measurable change for all of the citizens. As president of the Frederick Douglass Republicans of Tarrant County, I stand behind this statement. Precinct 2 deserves better representation with solid, rational results, ensuring a brighter future, free of delays or excuses for all its citizens. Simplify.
Good morning, everybody, particularly Matt, who's a former colleague of mine. I'm Lon Barnum, and I want to thank you for the opportunity to speak to you today. After my 6-month banishment, which was an obvious violation of my First Amendment rights, the new commissioners may not be aware that I have spoken on this agenda item concerning county-funded junkets on numerous occasions.
Mr. Barnum, one moment. Hey, gentlemen, will y'all please tell the people outside to keep it down? We can't, every time that door is open, we can't hear speakers, we can't hear each other. Proceed.
Thank you. A particular concern to me is the many times the county has funded junkets for the sheriff to attend events that are, in essence, Christian nationalist pep rallies full of racist messaging and content. I can't speak to the agenda item today whether or not it includes such an opportunity for junket, but I just want to call to everybody's attention that by and large, that concern was ignored, and it needs to be addressed. The sheriff needs to address not junket.
Okay, there is nothing on this agenda related to sheriff travel. This is...
It says out-of-state travel
Precinct
request.
1 commissioner, Precinct 2 commissioner, and CDA's office.
Okay,
so if you
thought I was called to the...
If you want to reserve comments about sheriff travel, you can do that in public comments.
No.
That's not on this agenda.
10A3, consideration of out-of-state travel request.
Yes, and there's 3 items on there. None of them are the sheriff.
Well, I wasn't speaking specifically to the sheriff. I was speaking
Well, I think you have to speak to specific agenda items, and that's not a specific agenda item. That's
agenda
a public
item
comment
10A3.
Okay. I'm not going to argue with you. Either you can talk about these 3, or you can hold it till public comment. Don't care which, but you're not going to sit here and talk about the sheriff 3 minutes.
Okay, since I didn't hear what agenda item you're on, are you on agenda 10?
Yeah. Okay. Your time is up. Thank you.
Well,
you can do it. You
here.
can come back to public comments if you want. Okay, Mayor Evans. And then following Mayor Evans is Isabel Young.
Good morning, Judge, and to the council. Mayor Michael Evans, Mayor of the City of Mansfield, Texas. While I do not speak today on behalf of the full council, but as a citizen and resident of our beloved Tarrant County and many of my constituents, please note my concerns for the plan to realign our county precinct boundaries. Any redistricting process deserves public engagement, collaboration, consensus building, and most importantly, time. And I strongly believe and agree with Tarrant County that redistricting is fundamental to the democratic process of conducting elections, but not by any means necessary. This must be done under the full scrutiny of the law and with all manner of participation. My concern is with ensuring that the current county process is compliant with the law. And as presented, the current proposed maps could be subject to legal challenges at both the state and federal level per the Texas Election Code and also the U.S. Voting Rights Act. Thank you, sir.
Good morning, y'all. I'm Jim Ross, Mayor of the City of Arlington. I'm joined here with Mayor Boardingham, Mayor of the City of Forest Hills, Texas. On May 23rd, I and the mayors of Fort Worth, Grand Prairie, Mansfield, Everman, Haltom City, Forest Hill, and Edgecliff Village provided this court with a letter detailing our opposition to the current redistricting process. We are very concerned about the current process, may not comply with state and federal law. There are now 7 proposed maps, could be vulnerable to legal challenges under the Texas Election Code and the U.S. Voting Rights Act. We urge this court to delay redistricting until further data, newer data is available and thoroughly evaluated each proposed map for legal compliance. We suggest that the legality of all 7 proposed maps be independently verified, not by the people who drew the maps, but by an independent consultant, and we will collaborate with y'all as need be. Thank y'all.
Thank you. Judge O'Hare County Commissioners, my name is Nina Oishi, and I'm an attorney with the Texas Civil Rights Project, a nonpartisan organization. I'm here to oppose this plan. As we wrote in a letter to this court, the mid-cycle redistricting process appears rushed without the procedural safeguards from 2021. There have been no publicly posted map criteria and no public drawing sessions. Based on our expertise litigating voting rights issues, these changes support a conclusion that the redistricting is motivated by discriminatory intent in violation of the 14th and 15th Amendments of the Constitution. Consequences could be dire, trapping the county in costly litigation. Galveston County has spent over $4 million in ongoing litigation after enacting a 2021 redistricting plan that dismantled a majority-minority commissioner's district, much like here. And again, that is ongoing. Looking out for your constituents would mean taking the time to wait and to adopt a fair and transparent process. Thank you.
Joe Palmer, Precinct 1, longtime Republican voter, opposed to the maps. Regarding the accusation that the new precinct lines are racist, it doesn't have to be true. It just has to have the appearance. Map 7, I looked on the website Sunday and only saw maps 1 through 4 displayed. Was map 7 added since then? Other reasons opposed. We don't need to. We have a 3-2 majority with C2 being a swing seat. They can't advance anything ideological without Republican agreement. And for those instructed to be here to support conservative ideology, I'm happy to tell you that the scope of the function of county government is narrowly constrained by statute. We need you at school board meetings and city council meetings and in the Capitol. This will hurt the Republican Party in Tarrant County, particularly on state house races and countywide seats. This whole thing looks bad and will look bad to voters to whom we will need to appeal to before the midterm election. The revolution was mentioned. If there is anything more American than dissenting voice, it would be protecting and embracing the dissenting voice of others. Relating to this, the timing is objectionable, mostly because the only voice of concern and advocacy on the court for the tragic jail deaths is Alyssa Simmons.
Thank you, sir.
Sometimes we have no choice but to take the crumbs that fall from the master's table.
Thank you.
I'm speaking on behalf of the Cesar Chavez and Dolores Tuerto Committee of Tarrant County. We oppose this racist redistricting proposal, just as we oppose your attempt to steal our holiday. I'm wearing a t-shirt today with a reminder of the Constable Robert McGinty's name.
Video on the Wolf and the Shepherd's podcast proclaiming, quote, if you are a Republican office holder and you haven't been called a racist, then you haven't done a thing. So be proud of being called a racist today. Those referring to these maps and this process, and even you as a racist, have a constitutional right to do that. We have got to stop sitting up here violating people's First Amendment right. This is crazy. Again, we ran for these positions. Everybody doesn't love me. They call me all kinds of names. I take it. I take it on the phone. I'm not a wimp. I'm not weak. I put up with tons of bullying from you, but I'm still here. Where's Pilf? Where are they?
They're available if the court would like to go into.
They need to be available out here, Chandler. Who's stopping them from coming?
I will answer that question.
Okay.
They have told me what they're going to do.
They don't get to tell us, Tim, what they're going, Judge, what they're going to do.
Well, and you don't have subpoena power to make them come out here. So they have said they're going to be back there to answer legal questions if you have any legal questions.
I don't
and if you don't have any legal questions, they're not going to come out here and testify or be questioned. And that's what they have told me, and that's what's going to happen.
No, that's not how that works.
I think it's how it's going to work.
It may
not be how you wish it worked.
It's not how it should work. They are being paid by this county. So if you directed them to stay back there.
No, I did not direct them to stay back there.
Okay.
They told me what they were going to do, and I think it's a good idea, actually.
They are the vendor. They don't get to tell us what they're going to do. Tell them to get out here, Chandler.
And we made them aware of your request, and they made the same statement.
Where are they posted up at?
I believe they're back here.
Back where? What room?
Back here in the admin area.
Gerald, go get them.
That's.
Tell them
we're not going to have a scene and a show here.
I'm going to finish my comments.
They've made their statement. They're going to follow what they've said.
A vendor does not tell the customer what they're going to do. Who does that? They ran. We're paying these people. Did y'all hear me? Say yes.
Any calls to have the crowd speak out, I will have, as the presiding officer, I will have the crowd removed.
You might be thinking that independent redistricting in this case might be better or something. Well, Texas still hasn't figured out why this douchebag is running the shit like he is, but I have. But before we get to that, I just want to say there is something to be said about the independent redistricting. But along with the independent redistricting, there's also independent map changes or whatever that are reviewed or whatever. And in Arizona's case, here's a couple of them. So I think all the arrests over this animal bullshit and Mr. Gold and all this shit is an attempt at controlling the jurisdiction of the unincorporated areas. Like, for example, this place. Oh, look, the sneaky bastard guy. Sneaky bastard. See, it says the sheriff provides service to the unincorporated parts or towns within the county. So I think what they're doing is creating jurisdictional fight over it, because the cat lady said her shit's from Maricopa. Here, just read this, and See, I don't think they're waiting for the historical population trend. I think they're trying to move it along with a bunch of convictions of people who live in those unincorporated areas to somehow gerrymander the the voting district into that unincorporated area, right? By getting people arrested, of course, by the unbiased sheriff, and then putting them in a court and then finding them guilty, and then that's how they're going to draw the line around it instead of waiting for the population boom. That's what I think. See, remember where it said this in that little the explanation robot?
A common issue where boundaries are manipulated for political gain. Courts can intervene if the redistricting process is challenged.
See, they're creating that challenge by fucking with people in unincorporated areas and by fucking with, that lady and shit. This will make sense to you guys. I don't know how to explain it. Oh, and then look, the candidate portal just automatically went dead. Anyway, back to Judge Tim O'Hare. The reason this dude can run a meeting like that and still think he has the balls to kick anybody out and be as racist as he wants is because he has it on lockdown. He paid the cops whenever he first got in, made it known that he was a rich piece of shit. And then I saw this. Right? Then I realized real estate. This motherfucker is a loan shark or whatever they call it. I don't know. He has his own website. Check it out. CMG Home Loans. This motherfucker, dude, you'd be surprised at how many of his licensing is in collection agencies, all in all states except Texas. Senior loan officer. Dude, that's how this dude is doing it. Here are some things we should know. Judges should avoid financial business dealings that could be seen as biased or interfering with judicial duties. Judges are typically prohibited from being officers, directors, or managers of any publicly owned business. Judges are expected to be impartial from free outside influences that could sway their decisions. Holding a position like home loan officer, where the individual is involved in financial transactions and may deal with people involved in court cases, can raise concerns about impartiality and potentially erode a public trust in the judiciary. This dude's a piece of shit. There you go, Tarrant County. All the people who are suing this guy. Here's your ammunition right here. All right, fuck it, peace.